Okay, guys, welcome back to the Horsemen Hangout. Technical difficulties there. I apologize. We had some issues with our audio. Now we've got some more issues. I'm unable to contact Mr. Mark Golden and Stephen back, but we do have here for part two of this week's episode, May 6th, Mr. Lane right there and Mr. Z right there again. So we're just going to pick it off where we left off. You know what? I'm just going to go with the trivia. That's what oh, somebody's here. Somebody's here. Someone just joined the chat, and it looks like Steven, I believe.
Yeah.
He's here.
All right, Steven is here, and he is live. Unfortunately, I don't know why I can't. Let's see. All right. All right. Well, I attempted to invite Mr. Mark Golden, but I don't know why it's not allowing me to. It's in the invite. Well, anyway, guys, we have to move along right here. If Mr. Mark Golden joins us in a little bit, so be it. But right now, I wanted to do some trivia. This is a trivia question that I came up with. One of the defunct titles from the WWE, the European title. So again, as always, how we're going to work this question is I'm going to ask you a question pertaining to the European title. You guys are going to give me the answer, and if we have multiple similar answers, we're going to move on to a date, which will be closest to the pin, and you'll understand as we go along with that. But the question is, and this is for everybody, so remember, either Mike, Steven, or Z can answer all at the same time. Just shout it out. Whoever gets it first will win. If I have multiple answers, we'll go closest to the pin. All right. Question: who was the final WWE European Champion?
Rob Van Dam?
X-Pac.
I'm sorry, Steven, what did you say?
I said X-Pac.
Mr. Z, do you have a guess?
D'Lo Brown.
The correct answer is Mr. RVD, Mr. Pay-Per-View himself, Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam. That is correct. Mr. Lane there, celebratory mood. He is the king of trivia. Mr. Lane got that. I didn't think anyone would get that. I thought the European title was forgotten. But Mr. Lane, you remember those Europeans and the title that they have.
Yeah, lucky guess. That's all I can say right now.
Just for more information on that, he merged the Intercontinental and European title on the night of July 22nd, 2002 on Raw against Jeff Hardy. He won the belt there. So,
Right.
Honestly, I don't remember that match myself, but that's what happened. And that was the end of the European title. All right, I want to do a little we'll try to get Mark Golden back on here. I don't know why it's not All right. Word Association Rumble. This is a new segment that I've come up with. Basically, what Word Association Rumble is, just that. Word association based in sports entertainment, of course, what we know and love. So what I'm going to do is I have 10 different word association topics, and I'm just going to go around the horn. If you guys could please give me the first word or phrase, no more than a word or phrase, that comes to your mind when I say these wrestling-related phrases, that would be ideal, okay? Everybody ready for Word Association Rumble, a.k.a. The War? You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
All right, good deal. All right. My cat's making a noise. All right, starting off, we're going to go Lane, Steven, and then Z. All right, Mr. Lane, first. First word, Disco Inferno.
Disco Fever.
Disco Inferno, Steven.
Weird.
Disco Inferno, Z.
WCW Jobber.
Next up, Chris Benoit. Go, Mr. Lane.
Crippler.
Steven, Chris Benoit.
Killer.
Chris Benoit, Z.
Unfortunate Legend.
All right, up next. Well, this could have been good if Mark was still here, but Jim Ross. Go, Mr. Lane.
Barbecue sauce.
Steven, Jim Ross.
Excellent.
Z, Jim Ross.
The best.
All right, up next, Stephanie McMahon, Mr. Lane.
Smart lady.
Steven, Stephanie McMahon.
Huge tits.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you, Stephen, for that laugh. Mr. Mr. Z, Stephanie McMahon.
What Steven said.
All right. Ditto, in other words.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6, Tony Atlas. I'm sorry, number 6. I'm going over my notes. I'm sorry, Mr. Lane, word association, Rumble, Tony Atlas, go.
Laugh.
I agree with that one. Steven, Tony Atlas.
Weird and crazy.
I agree on that one. And Z, Tony Atlas. Very good. All right. Up next, we're almost running through this pretty quick, guys. Up next, the WCW favorite, or you might not have liked this guy, but Mr. Lane, Buff Bagwell.
Overrated.
Interesting. Stephen Marcus Alexander Bagwell. I gave Buff Bagwell.
He is buff, and he is the stuff, and now he's on Showtime, and he's a friggin' gigolo or something.
Very good. Z, Buff Bagwell.
Buff Bagwell, American male gigolo.
All right, very good. Moving right along, we're almost done, guys. Mr. Lane, now this is a... All right, well, we'll just go with this. Former WWE diva, Karma.
Oh, boy. I was going to say the character that she used in TNA. I forget that character name. Crap. Forget it.
Amazing Kong.
Right, Kong. That's all I can say.
All right, Kong, very good. All right, Steven, Karma.
Forgettable.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I'd have to agree. Z?
Royal Rumble appearance.
Yeah, I do remember that. And a little side note on Karma, I know you guys aren't big TNA fans, or you might be, but at one point, Karma's TNA debut, I believe it was her pay-per-view debut, she had a little slip of the wardrobe malfunction, if anybody remembers that. Mr. Lane, do you remember that? Or maybe, Steven, you remember that?
No, I don't.
I saw you nodding, I didn't know. All right, up next.
I was just nodding that you were talking about something like that, but...
Gotcha. All right, 2 more names, and then we're moving on to the next segment, guys. Let's go rapid fire. Up next, we have, Dixie Carter. Mr. Lane.
TNA?
All right. Dixie Carter, Steven.
Bitch.
Well, you might have hit the nail on the head on that one. I ain't going to disagree. And Mr. Z, Dixie Carter, owner of TNA.
In over her head.
Excellent answer, Mr. Z. You may have hit the nail more on the head than Steven on that one. But both answers and Mr. Lane's answer are very good. All right, guys, moving right along. I'm trying to get Mr. Mark Golden back in. I don't know why I don't know. It's probably just me because my Hangout app is not, or my Hangout is not working properly. But it seems like the echo's gone. Is anyone hearing any echoes, or?
No.
No echo.
All right, very good. All right, guys, moving. My cat's making a ruckus here. All right.
Drew, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
We didn't touch on this, and I wanted to get what everybody else thought on this. On Raw, I know Daniel Bryan, where they're at right now, needs somebody to feud with, so they kind of push Kane into the spot. Does anyone feel like, and this is no offense to Kane the worker, because I think he's a very good worker, does anyone feel like the character of Kane is really, really stale? You know, they've repackaged him so many times. And like he's corporate Kane, and then a week later he's the big red monster again. We've seen all this crap before with him and Brie Bella. It's just like him and Zack Ryder. It's been done so many times. It's a waste of Bryan, I feel. Just want to see what you guys thought about that.
Well, as far as Kane is concerned, that's just part of his character. I mean, with the fire and the brimstone and whatnot. I mean, the things that he's done. For almost like I think his character's been in existence for about 16, 17 years. I think it's been. I mean, he's been basically the same guy. I mean, he has wrestled with the mask, without the mask. I have no problem with it. I mean, it makes logical sense there, Z, because These two guys were part of the team called Team Hell No, and they were tag team partners together. So why not have those former tag team partners feud? I have no problem with it. So I don't think his character's stale at all. I
Dale?
mean,
Personally, I feel. Steven, what do you think?
Kane, oh man, I like Kane, but like, I just, I think it's just time for him to, fade off into the sunset and go do what he's gonna do. He's had a hell of a career. He
Well,
has nothing left.
I
He
like
has nothing
Kane the
left to prove
worker.
in my book.
Yeah, I think he's a good. Glenn Jacobs is a great worker. He's a good company man, but I think the character of Kane is just so stale, and it's everything you could possibly do with him has been done.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with that, and I don't know if anyone caught that pre-tape on Raw. They did a little backstage pre-tape with Daniel Bryan, and this is something I brought up to one of my friends online. They had the dog's barking. They had Daniel Bryan kind of cower in fear of Kane, which is natural. I mean, Kane is a scary character, but at the same time, it kind of came off as Daniel Bryan as like a cowardly heel type. I mean, he was literally running from Kane, and he got in the car. He was frightened. It's almost as if they're building Kane up as this unstoppable monster, which they really don't need to do at this point because he's pretty established. And I don't think they really need to have Daniel Bryan cower to Kane. What do you think about that, Mr. Lane? You saw that segment backstage with the car?
Yeah, I saw that segment right now. You know what? I think Kane is the only legitimate guy that could wrestle Daniel Bryan right now. I mean, you look at the guys that competed at WrestleMania. They're trying to get really the Shield over, quite frankly, with the Evolution and versus the Shield rivalry. You have, of course, the Wyatts and John Cena right now, and it's now let me ask you all a question, if I may. Who would you rather see wrestle right now? Would you rather have Bray Wyatt wrestle for the championship, or would you rather have Kane wrestle for the championship, and why? I just thought I'd throw that question out there to y'all. What do y'all think?
Z, go ahead.
Right now, I'd rather see Bray Wyatt. I think Bray and Daniel Bryan could put on better, more entertaining matches. I get that they're using Wyatt to develop more of a character, and he's in this program with Cena. So he might not be – there might be grooming him for that top heel spot. But as far as my personal view, I'd rather have Wyatt in there than Kane.
All right, not Triple H guys. Steven, what do you think, sir?
I would agree with the other guy. I think Bray Wyatt would be more intriguing. I know John Cena's going to get his rematch now, and he's going to go on and win it probably. Who knows what they're doing with that? But I would love to see Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt put on a good match. Yeah,
and what do you think their Root TV, sir?
All right, as I am trying to bring back Mr. Mark Golden, and it's not working, but I would have to say the question was Bray Wyatt or Kane, right?
Yeah, Bray Wyatt or Kane, yes.
Most definitely Bray Wyatt. I mean, no offense to Kane, Glenn Jacobs, but gosh, he's been working as Kane since 1997. Prior to that, he was Isaac Yankem DDS. He was my personal dentist. He did a great job at all my teeth.
Right, yes. And, as far as that's concerned, with the Wyatts right now, I think they're like the hottest thing going on. Daniel Bryan was part of that Wyatt family briefly, I think maybe for about like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that, and then he went back to being Daniel Bryan, the guy, and the fans were chanting yes, 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 and that was a good thing for WWE at the time. So I think Bray Wyatt, would be the guy that should wrestle for the championship if they want to go that direction. Evolution is fighting the Shield right now, so it doesn't make sense for Orton or Batista or even Triple H for that matter to win the WWE championship. Makes no sense for business right now. That's just how I feel about it.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. And the fans turned the Wyatt's face, and that's what's interesting to me. It wasn't shoved down anyone's throat. We turned Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt's face. Nobody forced us to cheer for them. All right, up next on the show as we try to invite Mark Golden, but I keep having... Let me see if I can... All right, we'll try that. All right, up next. How about, let's see, we're winding down here. Well, one of the segments that I wanted to do was a little bit of a non-wrestling segment. It is a new segment I invented. I don't know if we're ever going to do this again. The host might be pissed off at me, frankly, for doing this, but the segment is called #Delicious. And this week, the #Delicious topic is, what the heck would your final meal be? If you were on death row and you could eat one last meal, what the heck would your final meal be? I know, being from Philadelphia, I have my one choice, well, two choices. But what would your final meal be if you could pick one? This is #Delicious. Mr. Lane, I'll start off with you. Your final meal in life. Go.
Good question there, man. I would just say, I'm a little torn between either Chick-fil-A or Five Guys. I'll go with Five Guys, quite frankly. Five Guys burgers and fries. Give me the Coca-Cola or tea. Give me the fries. Give me the ketchup. Give me the or Smash Burger. Smash Burger / Five Guys. So a hamburger would do for me. Hamburger, fries, and a drink of tea.
Very good. Let's go to Z next, and then we'll go to Steven. Z. Final meal. Go.
Oh man, final meal. I would probably have to go with a cheesesteak. Probably from Geno's Steaks in Philly. And then definitely for dessert, some mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Very good choice. Who is that calling? Is that Mark?
That I think Mark's trying to call me for some weird reason. I got it right here on my phone here. So.
All right, I'm going to try to invite him in.
Let me talk to him on Twitter. Excuse me a second.
All right. As we do that, we'll get Steven's response. Steven, final meal now. Give mine.
Final meal would be steak, potato salad, corn on the cob, and we'll go raspberry iced tea, and for dessert, cheesecake. There we go.
Very good pick, Steven. You're going to laugh at this. Well, I have two that are tied. One would be a Philly cheesesteak, of course, since I am from Philly. But my other meal would be, it's kind of plain and lame, but I love it. A grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup, maybe some hot peppers. I love grilled cheese. I'm a big grilled cheese mark, so to speak.
There you go.
So, anyway. All right, Mr. Lane, what's the deal? What's the scoop with Mr. Mark Golden?
Well, I just sent him a private message on Twitter, so I'm going to see what the heck's going on here.
All right, please tell me you're trying to get him back in here. I don't know what.
Yeah, I tried and you tried, and I don't know what the heck's going on around here, so I'm going to see what's going on.
I'm sure it has to do with my stinking computer, because obviously I'm not the true host of this show, so I'm learning these.
No, you're not, buddy. No, you're not. I know Justin is the host of this, but I was wondering.
No, you're not, buddy.
Well, I apologize for the technical difficulties. All right, guys, moving on. Let's keep this train rolling. We only have about 10, 11 minutes left. All right, so another thing we wanted to talk about, well, we really covered a lot this week. We did Extreme Rules, Fantasy Matchups, Trivia already, Word Association, Promo... we forgot about Promo Mania. It is time for everyone's favorite segment on the Horsemen Hangout, Promo Mania. Last week, refresh my memory, I'm an old man now, I'm 33. Mr. Lane, who won Promo Mania last week? I don't remember.
I don't know, that was a good question. I think it was... I don't know if it was Z. Z might have won, or
no. I didn't win Promo Mania. I think Steven won as Bad News Barrett.
Steve. Okay, yeah, okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to personally suggest that Mr. Z participate this week because I'm assigning him a character that I know he can impersonate, and that is Mr. Vince McMahon. I've heard Mr. Z's Vince McMahon. It's pretty solid, especially when he's talking about pointing to a sign. You might know what that is. You point. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Mr. Z. Now, it's either Steven or Mr. Lane to challenge Mr. Z this week. Mr. Z is going to be Vince McMahon. Who would like to step up and challenge Mr. Z this week?
Hold on a second.
Steven or Michael. Or I will assign one person in 5 seconds.
You can go, Mike, man. You go.
Yeah, hold on. I'm tweeting Mark back privately. I'm sorry.
Okay, so moving on. We are going to do Promo Mania. Mr. Z, you are Vincent Kennedy McMahon cutting a promo on Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, you are going to be Mr. Dusty Rhodes. WWE
Okay.
Hall of Famer and legend. So, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, Mr. Lane, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, Mr. Z. I know we were going to start it off with Mr. Z as Vince McMahon. Take it whenever you're ready, Z. You can take it away.
All right. Dusty Rhodes, I want you to get your ass out here right now. Dusty, there's a few things I want to get off my mind. I hire you after your mediocre career, and you try and write for my program. Look at the filth you put out there, Dusty. Adam Rose, El Torito. Dusty, you better get your ass out here to defend yourself, or I got 2 words for you. You're fired.
Okay, hold on. Let me do my little Google effects. Excuse me just a second, Mr. McMahon. Hold on just a second here. This is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. This is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, right now. And Vincent McMahon, who happens to be the owner of the Mecca of WWE. I am the American Dream. Pah! Dusty Rhodes. And I just elbowed you, Vince McMahon.
How dare you, Dusty?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just wheeling and dealing. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, son of a plumber. Boom, Mr. McMahon, the American Dream, elbow.
All right, very, very good, guys. Now I'm the host, so it'd be a little unfair for me to judge. Steven, pick a winner: Dusty Rhodes or Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Steve, go.
I'm gonna have to go with the Vince McMahon.
All right,
right.
congratulations, Mr. Z. Congratulations to Mr. Z, Promo Mania champion of May 6th, 2014 this week. Very good job. But honorable mention to Mr. Lane. That was a very good Dusty Rhodes. Great job.
Yeah, well, I have a coworker of mine that does a better Dusty Rhodes impression. I mean, I actually have a couple coworkers that watch wrestling like ourselves. They're both very good at Dusty Rhodes impersonations beyond myself. So, congratulations to Mr. Z. So,
Thank you.
Good promotion, man. Good promo. Gotta give it.
It was
to
fun.
You. Gotta give it to you, there, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, very good. I guess we lost Mark. What did Mr. Lane?
Yeah, let me just see what he said. He said, "I know that, but I didn't get an invite back." It says so. You say you never got an invite. Now, have you tried? My top screen cannot add. I don't have the add screen right on top of here on my Google here, and I'm on my laptop, so I only have about 5 options. So, because I know he's trying to invite me, so that's the deal there. You try to invite me, and
Yeah, I think. All right, so moving on. I think the problem is I'm inviting Mark for my. Let me try again because we can at least get him back for final thoughts.
now have you now is this the first time you tried the Hangout on this computer? Is this the first time you've done it?
Let me try to. We can get Mark in for our final thoughts.
Yeah, see if you can invite him.
Yeah, hopefully this works.
I hope so,
Mark,
buddy.
I'm gonna give this one last shot. I'm sending it to you on my Google Chrome instead of. Let's try this now.
Okay, you
All right, guys, we're going to be moving on to our final thoughts, so you have the floor, or we call this... Okay, well, he's invited. Let's see if he's got him.
Okay, we got him. I see him. He's there.
Is Mr. Mark Golden back? I do not see him.
It's the Golden 1, 2, 3, 4. Clash of the Champions is on the WWE Network.
There we go. There I see him.
All right, well, let me give Mr. Mark Golden the floor because he has been... He has been. Hopefully this works. Now I'm hearing a reverb. This one last shot. I'm sending it to you on my Google Chrome instead of. Try this now. All right. Anyway, Mr. Golden, I'm going to give you the floor. You're going to start off. I apologize for not having you back on here. We've been trying to work out these kinks, but I think I've finally figured it out. My Google Chrome is Mark Golden back. I do not see him.
Yes, I'm right here.
All right, are you hearing an echo right now?
Clash the Champions is on the WWE Network.
There we go. There I see him.
All right, turn down your.
I was listening to the show, and I hear you guys talking about your Death Row meal, and you did your Dusty Rhodes impression. I didn't receive an invite until just now.
Mr. Mark Golden, we're gonna catch you up in about 5 seconds with all that. So first off, Death Row meal, Mr. Mark Golden. I really hope and fingers crossed that it includes some form of Jim Ross's barbecue sauce.
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely have to include JR's Chipotle ketchup on a filet mignon done rare. That's definitely one of my favorite meals. I would have to have some sushi and Chinese. Also would definitely be on my Death Row meal for sure.
Very good, Mr. Mark Golden. Also, let me get in word association rumble for you. Number 1, Disco Inferno, Ed Ferrara's buddy. Go.
Funny.
Dixie Carter.
Inexperienced.
Chris the Crippler Benoit.
Awesome.
Jim Ross.
The legend, the greatest.
All right, well, this was our favorite earlier, but we'll see what you have to say. Stephanie McMahon.
Sexy.
Well, you guys like some Stephanie. Tony Atlas. Tony.
Unique.
Yeah, he's
I'm seeing a whole new side of Tony on Legends House for sure.
Yeah, I can't really I like Tony. I was never a big fan of his in-ring work, but he seems like a nice guy. A little bit crazy or demented, I don't know. But Buff the Stuff Bagwell, Mr. Mark Olin.
Bad, terrible.
So in other words, I guess you're not a fan of Judy Bagwell then.
That was ridiculous. Oh man. Oh, some of the Nitro stuff. I can't understand how that program beat Raw for 2 years. Some of that stuff was just so awful.
Mr. Lane, you remember Judy Bagwell, right?
They
Yes,
did
I
Judy
do.
on a pole match. They had a Judy on a pole match, and that was before Vince Russo was ever there.
Yes, and I don't know why Vince gets. Well, I do know why, but
He kept them going though. he kept
that tone going with the pole matches, but he didn't book Judy
Because
Bagwell.
Vince Russo sucks, that's why.
There we go. All right. As Mark knows, I might be the only living, breathing person who supported Vince Russo outside of our mutual friend Ed. Is that correct, Mark?
I don't hate Vince Russo. I think he's at times been overrated, and I think he's done when he worked for Vince. And again, and you and I disagree about this. He had a filter in Vince, and they always said they even had the running joke. Him and Ed did that they tried to make the show that Vince couldn't fix, and every week he found something to fix.
Yeah.
And it became something that they did every week. That to me said that Vince always tweaked or fine-tuned anything that they did. And when he was in WCW, he had free reign, and we saw the end. We saw the results. It wasn't always so hot.
Shout out to our mutual friend. I brought him up briefly, but Mr. Ed Ferrara, our buddy.
Yes.
Very nice guy. I've known him for about 10 years, and shout out to Ed if he's watching. Right, Mark?
That's right, Mr. Ferrara. We love you. We miss you. Come on the show sometime.
Hopefully we can get him. I believe he's living in Orlando or right outside of Orlando now.
Yep, and he does MLW podcast with Court Bauer and Conan, I think.
Yeah, Court used to write for WWE, I believe.
Yep.
All right, very good. All right, guys, I believe we've caught up Mr. Mark Golden. Once again, I apologize. Right now, I want to, two more things. One is the final thoughts, and I really don't like final thoughts, the actual name of that segment, so I just want to call it Horsemen Shoot, because that's basically what I want. I want you guys to shoot whatever's on your mind. You can talk about entertainment, movies, sports, wrestling itself. Obviously, it's all we talk about pretty much, but you can talk about anything. Horsemen Shoot, a.k.a. final thoughts. Mr. Lane, any final thoughts? A.k.a. Horsemen Shoot. Take it away, Lane.
Yeah, there it is, right there, guys. Shoot. Well, like I was telling Mark and Steve earlier, I'll show you this real quick. I just got my,
We talked for 2 hours the other night after Extreme Rules.
Yes, I did, and by the way, I did, yeah, exactly there, Mark. I just got MLB 14 to show, if you guys can see that, for PlayStation 4. Just got it early today. I'm hoping to play it when I get done here. It's an excellent baseball game, so I look forward to playing it in a little while as soon as I get done here. I've heard amazing reviews for the game. I think it's probably the best baseball game I might have played. Although it takes a little while to install, basically, and but it's well worth it. I mean, if you guys are baseball fans like myself, and by the way, the Braves won, just so my 7-game losing streak is done. And like I said before, and I'll just say this now, go Braves.
All right, Mr. Lane, thank you for that Horseman shoot. Up next on the shoot, Mr. Triple H Guy 2004, a.k.a. Stephen Page. Stephen, take it away.
Okay, so I think this time, these next few months for WWE is a very crucial point. Because usually after WrestleMania, WWE dips down and really doesn't care about their product at all. They'll know the hardcore fans will watch it. But, you know, I think, you know, Money in the Bank's really going to tell where WWE is going into, like, SummerSlam, I believe.
Very good, very good. And this is the time of year when they usually cool off. But they've been doing okay in comparison to years past. Mr. Z, shoot. Go.
You know, I just want to say that I didn't like the Mr. T Mother's Day thing.
Oh, glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I think they made fun of Mr. T for no reason, and I mean the guy he was over the top at the Hall of Fame, yes, but it was something he was really passionate about, and people will probably forget about it if they didn't rehash it on Raw and kind of take a shot at Mr. T. So, Mr. T, happy Mother's Day to you, to your mom. Happy Mother's Day to my mom and everybody else's mom out there.
Treat your mother
Happy Mother's Day.
Treat your mother right. I'm just saying, Horseman. Treat
My mom is actually tuning in
Put
tonight.
up the 4s for your mothers.
What's that, Steven?
Put up the 4s for your mothers.
There we go.
My mother will not know what that means.
No, she'd probably think it's a gang symbol, which technically, I guess, it sort of is a kayfabe gang, kayfabe. All right. Give me your shoot final thoughts here. Anything.
Okay.
Anything.
Me?
Hit with anything.
All right. First of all, two things I wanted to talk about. Ryan, I know that you love Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Another great, as did I. Two other shows that I suggest you check out if you like episodic television like that. They're about to come to their end of the seasons, but check them out if you can, is Hannibal and Blacklist. Both are also very good shows that I think you might like. I wanted to say that. And also, Daniel Bryan running away from Kane. You don't want your champion to look like a pussy, and he kind of did last night, and that was really weak, and I hated that. And also, there was one other thing. Cage matches should only be won by way of pinfall or submission and not escaping the cage because it protects the guy who loses and it looks lame when they escape the cage. That's all.
All right, very good, Mark, and I agree with the Daniel Bryan comment. I don't know why it was booked like that, but I spoke on that a little earlier. My final thought, a.k.a. shoot. Great new television show. Well, it's not new. It's in the 4th season now, I believe, or 4th season. Louis.
Yes, I have my DVR. It's DVR from last night, yes.
Oh, yeah, I won't give you any spoilers.
Yes, that's a great show. I will concur with that.
You like Louis C.K.?
I most like
Yes.
Louis.
You like Louis C.K., Stephen?
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites and inspiration, and I watched the shows last night, laughed pretty hard, but a lot of dark elements to it. But I don't know how to say this without sounding lame, but it is really a beautiful show. It's beautifully shot, beautifully edited, and it's an awesome, and it's hilarious at the same time. It just plays on many different levels. It's very.
Yeah. It's very weird how they shoot it. It's you don't. If you turned into it, you would think it was like some reality show, but they film it like it's a TV show, but it looks like a reality show kind of.
It's
definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, and specifically, and again, not to give any spoilers, but the scene last night in, I believe it was the first episode, when he's sitting at his the diner with his comedian buddy. I mean, that felt like a real conversation. The scene when he's sitting at the card table, I believe it was, with Sarah Silverman, Jim Norton, whoever else was there. It just felt like it was real. And in a sense, it probably is. But of course, they know it's a show, so it's
I'll
almost
have
like
to go look up that first episode on my
yeah.
system.
Check it out, Steven. It's almost like a work shoot, which that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Mark, you're not a
If
fan
you
of
guys have
work
ever seen
shoot.
Curb Your Enthusiasm? It's got the same style.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I never really liked that
I love
guy.
Larry David. I've always been a Larry David fan.
All right. Before we get out of here, Mr. Z, can we get an update on the Phillies score?
They're losing 6-5 in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Oh, fantastic. Well, at least they tried to come back. All right, guys. As the outro this week, we have to get out of here. We're past our limit. Although, thank you guys for bearing with me with the technical difficulties. Next week, your real host will be back. Hopefully.
It's okay. I feel your pain. My Bruins lost tonight, so I feel your pain with your sports teams losing. So
Thank you.
you.
Michael. And there is Mr. Lane with a note. What does that say, Mr. Lane?
Well, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. So I'm just gonna leave this sign right up for everybody to see.
All right, thank you. Treat your mother right. And thank you guys. Last week, okay, now here's a final little outro I planned for you guys. Last week, obviously, we ended the show with the Bray Wyatt song there. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah.
This week, I'd like to end with a song or a verse from a song that, well, maybe you might not remember. I mean, did anybody watch WCW in the late 90s, the obscure stuff?
I watched all wrestling. I always did, and I always have, and probably.
Well,
I was too young.
Let me tell you right now. Does
are
anyone
you gonna say I hate crap?
No, rap is crap. That was the
Or rap is crap.
Yeah.
I hate crap.
Let him go. Let's hear this, right?
Well, I will say that you guys are completely 100% psychic because I was going to sing the Rap is Crap song. And includes in the West Texas Rednecks, which obviously was Mr. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Bobby Duncombe Jr., Barry Windham, Kendall Windham, and at one point, I don't know who booked this, but Virgil was in that group as a guy named Curly Bill. I don't know. I didn't book. Maybe Bischoff booked that. I don't know. But I had my run-in with Virgil last year at WrestleMania. I don't know if you've seen that video, but
It's hilarious.
yeah, funny video there with Virgil. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us this week, and we're going to end the show with a nice little lyric. I'm going to start it off. I don't think anybody... Does anybody even remember the lyrics to the song? No?
Not really. No, sorry.
All right, well, here we go. You can sing along. If not, I'll look like an idiot. Thank you, Justin, for the reins this week, but we have to say goodbye. So here we go. I like NASCAR racing. Richard Petty's still the king. Yeah, they call me a redneck, but you know that's a beautiful thing. There's only one thing that I hate, and it's a bunch of crap. Take it, Steve. Where'd Steven go? We lost him.
He left.
Ah, God, this is well. Oh, I'm ruining. The ratings are probably plummeting. Mark, help me, please. Sing the Rap is Crap hook.
I hate rap.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
Have a good